Honorable and esteemed people of the United Kingdom, you can see the time is 10:30 on the 1st of December 2020, Tuesday. And you can see that this is the BBC News HD, which is coming. And so I'm at home. I've been home all day long. And then you can see that I'm at home. And I've already sent the login of the day to the 48 friends on the iPhone messages, as well as to 14 friends on the WhatsApp, as always. And I'm now going to do the login of the day on the phone, which I've compiled on the other phone. And so I'm just going to make sure that it is ready and visible enough. And here it is. And let's press on it and make sure that it opens up for us. And okay, just doing the password, beg your pardon. Oh gosh, it needs another. It's doing just the password. Oh Lord. I just have to delete it once again and to do it again, so on and so forth. But yeah, here it is. It's open now. So my dears, you can see that it is starting from midnight on the 1st of December 2020. And that video you can see was filmed 24 hours ago. Well, it was just before 10 at 9:58, which was done on the 30th, 24 hours ago. Which consisted of 2 hours and 13 minutes and 13 seconds. So it came on to the 1st of December, and that's why the video, the web link before it was uploaded to the YouTube, the iCloud web link was sent straight away. You can see here, 12:41 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, it was sent to the 48 friends on the iPhone messages, and that is enlisted in here. And so these are the 6 pages. And here you can see that it's the video which is here, which is saying 9:58 on Monday, 30th of the 11th. That was yesterday. Today is a Tuesday, which is the 1st of December. And that is the video which is among the other things on the iPhone, and so on and so forth. And then you can see that it consists of 2 hours, 13 minutes and 13 seconds. So on and so forth. And then furthermore, we go on to see that it is 12:47 there on the 1st of December 2020. And furthermore, that is at you can see 1:08 on the 1st of December 2020, and so on and so forth. And let's see this. Yeah, it is showing the BBC News HD, which is there. And it can be demarcated, pinned down and verified. 12:48 a.m. on BBC News, that is there. And Sky News HD, which is 12:54, which is here as well. And 1:06 on the 1st of December 2020, after midnight. And that's the way it is. And Republic Bharat, another Sky News channel at 12:54 after midnight, which is many hours ago, because now you can see the time is 10:33 at the moment, but this was after midnight, just after 1st December had started. And so you can see 1:14, and it is displaying Aaj Tak India Today at 12:50, and which has been displayed here for that is 714 Colors Cineplex at 12:52, and then it's 1:15 on the 1st of December 2020. And these photographs are occurred because they were sent, they were of yesterday, but they were sent to the friends on as a greeting. When I sent the greeting at night, that I sent some photographs which were of the day itself, and so they are of the previous day, and so on and so forth. That's why they've occurred. And plus, one of the photographs has gone on top of the video that was downloaded or uploaded onto the YouTube, which I was, you can see 30th of the 11th, 2020 at 9:58, which is of 2 hours and 13 minutes and 13 seconds. And it is enlisted among the other YouTube videos. And that's the photograph that has gone on top of it. And that's why these are displayed. And here you can see that one is here. And then you can see it's 5:13 in the morning when it has been sent, early hours of the morning, to the friends on the that is of course that is on my own account, which is in the iPhone messages. You can see public petition to the House of Commons, deliver justice, and it says 30th of the 11th 2020 at 9:58 p.m., which is printed on the YouTube video that has gone out, and so on and so forth. And then you can see in the morning, 8:56, that it was sent to this YouTube video was sent this morning, just before 9 o'clock, to 48 friends on the iPhone messages and 15 friends on the WhatsApp. And so it's been displayed here. And then you can see 9 o'clock news, BBC News HD, which is on the 1st of December 2020. And then 9:07 and 9:09. And furthermore, we keep going, 9:17 and furthermore 9:21, 9:30, and then you can see 10:10, which is BBC News HD, that's displayed there. And then furthermore, that is Sky News HD at 10 a.m. displayed here. And then India Today News, which is a Sky News channel, Indian, but broadcasted in the United Kingdom with the date and time of Great Britain. So you can see that one is displayed here at 10 a.m. in the morning, and another one. And then 10:16, and Z Cinema at 10:27, and Color Cineplex at 10:26. These are Sky channels. And then the coffee you can see being made in the kitchen at 10:43 a.m. And you can see on top that it is on the 1st of December 2020 at 10:47. And that's the entire kitchen. That is again the coffee. You can see the coffee and everything that you've seen in the previous scan, 10:47. That's the entire kitchen. And then you can see here that the YouTube video that has been sent, which is there, it's displayed over there. And it also says that I confirm that it has the exclusive in-depth video of the 30th filmed or at 9:58, which is extensive and enlightening YouTube, which consists of 2 hours, has been sent to 48 friends on the iPhone messages, as well as to 15 friends on the WhatsApp. So it is at 10:51 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, that they have been sent that one to. And that is a YouTube video. You can see that 8:54 that was sent in the morning. First thing, so 10:53, they were also informed that it has been sent to everyone, because publicity is the very soul of justice. That is British media law, which is absolutely crucial, and it is essential. So it needs to be done for safeguarding the rights of the common man of Britain, and for every case, not only mine, but for every case, and which is absolute truth. And you can see BBC News HD 11 a.m., which is displayed there, and Sky News 11:01 is displayed here. And then India Today, which is again there, and 11:15, and then 11:15, and Republic Bharat on, which you can see is 1st December 2020, which is Tuesday at 11:20, and then furthermore, we keep going. This is at 12:01 on BBC News HD, and then Sky News HD at 12, and Sky News as well. And furthermore, that is Aaj Tak India Today and Republic Bharat and Z Cinema at 12:04, midday, that is today. And then after that, keep going, that is 1:02, 1 o'clock, which is in the afternoon on the BBC News HD displayed here, which is the House of Commons is being displayed here. And I believe that one is our dear Prime Minister, Mr. Charming. Yes, he is charming, isn't he? And then Mr. Boris Johnson, Right Honourable, of course, and 503 News HD 1 o'clock, which is again the Parliament is being displayed there, and 1:21, and then 1:21 Sky News HD, which is again showing a parliamentarian in the Parliament. Then Aaj Tak India Today, and then 1:25, and then you can see 1:25 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, and 1:32, and then 2 o'clock BBC News HD is displayed here, and then it is 2:30, which is showing on it on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, but the Sky News HD 2:08 has been displayed here as well, and BBC News HD at 2:07 is displayed there as well. And furthermore, 2:37, which is 2:38 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, and 2:45 on the 1st of the 10th. And then you can see all the books on the table where I'm sitting at present in the lounge, which is at 2:45 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, and then 2:46 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020. And then it is 3 o'clock news, BBC News HD is displayed there. And then furthermore, 3:32, 3:35 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020. And that is the Cinema 3:05 displayed here. Then Republic Bharat 3:05 displayed here. India Today as well displayed here. As well at 3:05. And then 3:40 on, you can see 1st of the 12th, 2020 in the launch. And then you can see my photographs here, which are again, all of them are in the launch at, this is 15:49, just before 4 o'clock on the 1st. And that says my name, Jagkanchana Singh, at 15:43. And I have put my address, and which is 13 Wickham Close, which is Rusholme, Manchester, M14 4HW. I've put it on all of the scans. You've got to do that. And then furthermore, so these are the photographs of today, just before 4 o'clock in this launch itself. And then 15:53, and then you can see that is the 4 o'clock news on BBC News HD and Sky News HD 4 o'clock. 4:15, 4:15 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, 4:21, 4:22, and then you can see the rice with cashew nuts and almonds is being made, which is with the coconut oil, etc., and the cloves and the green cardamoms, which is all the Indian aromatic cooking, and then Indian rice. 4:26 in the kitchen, you can see that one there. And then 4:28, and then furthermore the photographs you can see are again in the launch. 4:29, 4:29, first of the in the snapshots, and then these are all in the launch at 4:32 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020. And then furthermore 4:38 and 4:40, 4:41, and then 4:41. And then you can see that is 5:25 on the 1st. Okay, that is BBC News HD 5 p.m. that is displayed there, and 5:25. And then the Sky News HD, which is displayed here at 5 o'clock. And then Aaj Tak India Today 5:04 is also displayed here. And Sky Republic Bharat is 5:05 displayed here. Z Cinema as well. And then 5:34 you can see, which is on top, and then you can see the iPhone messages, which is, you can see 5:35 on top, which is on the 1st of the 12th, 2020. And these are the 48 friends on the iPhone messages that have been sent, the login of the day that you have visualized, which starts from 9 a.m. in the morning and then goes up to 4 p.m., which are mentioned in here. In sequence, hour by hour, which are 8 snapshots, 8 scans that have been mentioned, that have been sent. The login of the day, the text you can see has been sent to the 48 friends on the iPhone messages, and then the snapshots and the scans have been sent to the 14 friends on the iPhone messages, on the WhatsApp as well. And then these snapshots, which have been taken of various friends, have also been sent off the iPhone messages to 14 friends on the WhatsApp. And then you can see that it's 7 p.m. in the evening, which is BBC News HD 5:03, and then 5:03 BBC News HD, Sky News HD at 5, not 5, it's 7 o'clock, I beg your pardon, it's 7 p.m., which is 19 p.m. on BBC News HD, and then Sky News HD as well at 7:25. And then furthermore, you can see 7:29, 7:30 on the 1st of the 12th, 2020, and 7:41, 7:02, Republic Bharat is displayed here, and 7:42, 7:43, and then furthermore, that's BBC News HD at 7:34, displayed here. And then 9:34, you know that they give hand in hand the news of America as well as of the United Kingdom in the evenings, especially around this time between 9 and 10. And then it is 9:34 on the Sky News HD as well. And then Aaj Tak India Today 9:35, and then 9:53 and 9:53, and then 1st of the 12th, 2020. That is Z Cinema 935, Republic Bharat 935 as well. And furthermore, that is 953, you can see on top, 1st of the 12th, 2020. And at present, it is 954. Oh, sorry. No, it was 954 at that time, but at present it is 22:45. It is 10:45, which you can see above over there. That is the present time. So now I go into showing yourselves what this case is about, and we go into the photos and then go into for there is a lot of intricacy in here, as the case is mirroring the state of affairs of the country, the Parliament's 1995 inquiry into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry, into judiciary and the police and other public servants that amalgamate and combine into Freemasonry for their self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind, which is the Parliament's ruling. And then you can see Irish Life, that is the Parliament's inquiry, which is, I'm going to quote to you from Martin Short and Stephen Knight. But these are the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths never cancelled and the divorce never declared. My husband is the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons. After my death, he's been remarried to the other woman for the last 24 years, has another son from the other marriage too, but the divorce has never taken place. That is the misuse of authority of the Freemason judges that have been charged by the Parliament's inquiry of doing countermand, counteraction, and counter-order, of doing counter-law, doing the opposite of the law, that is changing their allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime. And that is why he's remarried to the other woman for 24 years. I was married to him for nearly 10 years. I came more than 35 years ago. I am a British citizen, and he has both my sons. He's the offending parent and adulterous husband. Always had a different woman in his life. He didn't know why he'd married me. All his affairs were brought into the open by his own consultant in Withenshaw Hospital of ENT, and so on and so forth. And I shall cover all of that with yourselves. And you can see the judges and the police have been ordered by the 1997 Home Secretary, Right Honorable Jack Straw, to declare their membership of Freemasonry, which is the criminal and the immoral world, unmasked in the Parliament's inquiry in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight, which are accepted as evidence by the Parliament's inquiry. And then you can see the Leveson inquiry, which is the contemporary inquiry, which is charging the police on a very high level also in serious corruption, in phone hacking, constant phone hacking, which is done with the corrupt public servants as well as with the media, the corrupt media, which is the establishment-based mafia of Freemasonry. So that witch hunting of the constant phone hacking is done of victims such as myself, and on other matters, of course. Freemason judges in misuse in a public petition to the House of Commons. This case is a public petition to the House of Commons because the judges never declared a divorce, and the prayer is to the House of Commons to declare a valid divorce between my husband and myself, who's married to the other woman for 24 years. And for 25 years, I've been separated from him. The case started in 1994 in the United Kingdom, and which was of divorce and custody of the children. And then secondly, the offending parent has got the children as well. The laws of the land were broken, which the Freemason judges are again charged on page 12 of Martin Short inside the Brotherhood for giving the children to the offending parent. And plus, and also the 3 life insurance policies have not been cancelled. So the number 1 thing is to declare the divorce. Number 2 is to make sure the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths are cancelled, because everyone has the right to live. And number 3 is to safely restore both my sons back to me, for they need to be reunited with their mother, no matter what their age. And then you can see Freemason judges in misuse in a public petition to the House of Commons. Judge Farrer of Coventry County Court, District Judge Harper, District Judge Road, District Judge Brass, District Judge Corn, their district judges all from Somerset House, Judge Coleman from Royal Courts of Justice, Judge Collins from Birmingham, Judge Farnworth, and Judge Stuart White, and Lord Justice Stuart Smith and Lord Justice Wilson, all from Royal Courts of Justice. And then you can see that the judges, the 3 life insurance policies are not cancelled on 3 deaths, and the Freemason judges instead made a bogus court order without the emblem of the court, without the name of a judge. I beg your pardon, I'm going to plug that one in so that the battery doesn't go off, and so on and so forth. I'm just going to put that on. And so that's the way it is. So you can see that the bogus court order of divorce was made on plain paper without the emblem of the court, without the name of a judge, and the 3 life insurance policies not cancelled. But this court order is in the hands of the people of the United Kingdom and in the hands of Manchester University students that have read this case for 10 years, from 2004 till 2014, when my sons grew up and came to the University of Manchester. I had to publicize it to save their lives, that the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths have not been cancelled and the divorce has not been declared, which is the Parliament's inquiry's advice to make it public. And also it is the advice of British media law that publicity is the very soul of justice and crime pulse in the dark. So if you become a victim of Freemasonry, you've got to bring it to the public eye, and that's how it is. Oh God gracious. And then furthermore, you can see that is my radio interview with Manchester University students, with the 3 Manchester University students. You can see that it is Magic Bus Lady Special, which is myself, Jagkanchana Singh, the most prestigious guest ever to grace the Fuse FM. That's a radio station. And then you can see that she won a beauty competition. She didn't mean to enter. Be astounded. She recalls her historic meeting with Cherie Blair, and the heart of the matter: get ready to march down to the polling station as she lays out her plans to stand as MP. So I was nominated by the Manchester University students to become their MP, but it was obstructed by the council who denied my right by denying me, reneging on their word and not withholding my right and not giving me the social fund of £500, which I was verbally told that it's been granted, which was the requirement to deposit that to stand as MP, and then just before the election. And then secondly, the police had also announced, because it was obstructed time and again, the police announced that if this woman had been a white lady, then we would have let her become the MP. But you know, the Freemason police is racist, which is no secret, and Tom, Dick and Harry knows about it. And they also did my anti-propaganda with Manchester University students, regardless of which I've always have a majority of Manchester University students, British and white, coming from all over the United Kingdom, giving me their outstanding, enormous and wonderful, exemplary love that is going to be there forever. It's everlasting. However, you can see that James Robinson, the chief presenter of this radio show, has written after 4 or 5 days to me that, you fantastic woman, we've had literally thousands of people visit the site because of the interview, and I've had people call me up about it, and it's already broken the record of the most downloaded radio show that we've ever had on this station. Furthermore, you can see my CV. That is the photograph which was on my identity card at Punjab University, Chandigarh. Chandigarh is the youngest city of India, planned by a French architect. The second photograph is from one of the plays at the university. And then you can see a master's in philosophy, a bachelor of law, a bachelor of mass communication media. These are my 3 degrees, and I'm a qualified lawyer and a journalist. And then you can also see that I'm the daughter of the very first professor of Punjabi literature in the whole world, with 49 PhD doctorates under him, and also an authority on Sikhism, who has done outstanding and enormous work on Sikhism, which is in English, for he's a master's in English too, and has been in our libraries over 50 years. And my father's name is Professor Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli. That you can see is my father. And then this one you can see that it's me as a beauty queen at the first All India University Youth Festival. This one you can see that I have in one of the English plays at the university as an inter-university competition myself. Oh my God. And then this one is the Minister of Education giving me an award, which is a distinction in dramatics, because I was one of the best actresses of my university and used to perform in front of thousands of university students at Punjab University, Chandigarh, and so on and so forth. And then you can see this is me as a fashion model in college. And then that one is from one of the plays at the university. This photograph is when I got selected for Air India as air hostess. And then you can see some of my skills and abilities. Here, a qualified lawyer as well as a journalist, broadcast journalist, worked for radio and television. Oh God gracious, excellent communication skills, both written and verbal, interviewing skills, reporting skills, editing skills, eloquent speaker, advocacy skills, leadership qualities. Yes, I was a student leader in Department of Laws, where there were 1,000 boys and 100 girls. Furthermore, you can see that is the statement of the Manchester University student who has known me over 11 years. He has written, "It is my pleasure to write in a personal capacity regarding Jag Kanchana Singh, whom I have known for the past decade. I first met Jag Kanchana in 2008 when I was a first-year student at the University of Manchester. She had by then become a local celebrity amongst the student population of Manchester, a city with around 80,000 students of two universities, the University of Manchester and the Metropolitan University. For several years, Jag Kanchana mounted a very successful campaign to raise public awareness on political and social issues with no budget. She reached a large audience, giving speeches and printing short pamphlets which had a very wide circulation. These are remembered to this day by anyone who was in Manchester at the time. And I have always been impressed with Jag Kanchana's intelligence, her goodness, and the rigor and discipline with which she conducts her campaign." And then furthermore, you can see he has brought to the public eye. This period culminated in a very widely discussed interview with the Manchester University student radio station and a campaign to become an independent MP, which collected huge number of signatures. Unfortunately, people hostile to the success of her campaign, especially those in positions of power in the council, used every means they could to obstruct her, from denial of funding to grossly unethical tactics. Thus, Manchester lost one of its best loved public speakers, and then that is his good name, Dr. Joseph Razavi, who is English, who is from the University of Manchester. He has done his PhD from University of Manchester in computer science and has a job in computer science at the University of Manchester, and he works at Kilburn Building on Oxford Road in Manchester. And that I do have the love and affection of thousands of Manchester and Metropolitan University students who have known me for 10 years, who have read my case every single day, a new article on the multifacets of the case in particular and in general, how the case is mirroring the state of affairs of the country, the Parliament's 1995 inquiry into the misuse and abuse of free ministry, into judiciary and the police and the other public servants that change their allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime by joining free ministry. And then you can see that these are my 3 degrees. That is my Bachelor of Laws, which is a LLB degree passed from Punjab University, Chandigarh. You can see Jag Kanchana Kaur Kohli, daughter of Surinder Singh Kohli, passed in 1982. And then furthermore, that's the 2nd degree, which is Bachelor of Mass Communication, Media, Journalism degree, passed in 1984. Jag Kanchana Kaur Kohli, daughter of Surinder Singh Kohli. 1984 is the year when I came to the United Kingdom. That was after getting married to this medical doctor in India, and came 1 week after my marriage and landed in London. And his name is Dr. Inderpal Singh. He has worked for over 30 years with the NHS in the United Kingdom. Though I was only married to him for nearly 10 years, but he has been remarried to the other woman for 24 years, though the divorce has never taken place, as I told you. And so on and so forth. And so I am a British citizen. I came more than 35 years ago, and my sons are also born and brought up here. Both my sons, a medical doctor and a mathematics honors and business masters, both from the University of Manchester, and God bless them anyways. But also I have to tell you that my husband worked for many years in Wythenshawe Hospital in Manchester, and all his extramarital affairs of my adulterous husband were brought into the open in my presence by his own senior-most consultant, Mr. Wadi Nasser, on his farewell party in front of the entire theatre staff and ward staff, because my husband was an ENT surgeon, and so his senior-most consultants, Wadi Nasser, brought everything into the open, however, and exposed it. And then the 3rd degree of mine is a master's in philosophy, which is, you can see, again, Jag Kanchana Kaur Kohli, daughter of Surinder Singh Kohli, passed in 1979, Punjab University, Chandigarh. This is from the top thesaurus of Rogers, which is unmasking the free mysteries connotation, which is embedded in black and white and is part and parcel of all its multifacets. That free mystery is partner in crime, and it is colleagueship, accomplice, helper in crime, partner in crime, aiding and abetting, moneyless and sharer, friend at court, benefactor. It is collaborator, it is conspirator, it is plot, it is participation, it is sharer, and it is teammate, and it is befriending, and it is traitorship and treason, and it is conspirator, and it is conniver, and it is tergiversator that changes their allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime. And it's a crony, and then it is 880 friend and helpmate, which is amalgamating and combining the victims, friends, family, and neighbors into Freemasonry. And I do not communicate with any of the neighbors where I live because I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. However, you can see 708 party, which is Freemasonry, in the top thesaurus of Rogers, that it is movement, it is party, it is inner circle, it's clique, it's team, it's gang, it's Gundaism and gangism. It is splinter group. It is the breakaway group that breaks away from the law of the land. It's a movement, and it is 489 Decian Tent, which is that they pledge, the Freemasons pledge to break the law. They pledge for insubordination, that is willful defiance of the law and revolt against the law, and to do the counteraction, which is opposite of the law. Oh my God, no wonder there's been a parliament's inquiry into all of this. And then you can see that Freemasonry is 7083738, which is revolter, which is sedition, which is revolt against the law, which is terrorism, which is organized crime, which is mafia, which is illegal and criminal, which is 738 is 954, which is illegal, criminal, and injudicial. And it is also insubordination, and it is tergiversation, as well as which is changing allegiance from law to crime, and it is an anarchy, breaking down the law and order, creating an anarchy, a criminal offense and punishable. I'm only quoting the Rogers thesaurus, and then you can see that Freemasonry 708 is partnership in crime. It is amalgamation and combine. It is you can see an access, and that's how I told you that I do not communicate with any of the neighbors where I live because I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. I only say hello to one woman on the WhatsApp in the neighborhood, but I don't even go to her house. And then you can see that Freemasonry 708 is secret society. It's Freemasonry, and it is a revolution. It is fellowship. It's brotherhood. It is fraternity. It is family, because when the victims, family, friends, and neighbors are amalgamated and combined into Freemasonry, into siding up with Freemasonry, which is the party, then they become the family of the Freemasons and they become the enemies of the victim, and betray the victim in their self-greed that has been offered to them and amalgamated and combined into Freemasonry by the Freemasons. And then you can see Freemasonry is partnership, it is establishment based. It is a monopoly of sin. It is to amalgamate and combine, and so on and so forth. And then you can see here it is, you can see 882 and 880, which are the entries of amalgamation and combine of the victims, family, friends, and neighbors into it. And then you can see 481 biased, which in the Rogers thesaurus is prejudice, and it is bigotry, it is institutional racism, and it is white supremacy, and it's partiality, discrimination, favor. And 978 is sectarian, which is splinter group, which is zealot, which is furthermore, which is 979 follows from it, which is to break the image of the victim, and it is to break the law of the land, and it is also dissension. And it's 709, which is a gang warfare. And then you can see that Freemasonry 708 is joint party. It is become a member and become one, which is monopoly of sin. And then you can see say side with and take sides. And then you can see that it's partnership in crime. It's shake hand and hold it shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, back to back, collectively, jointly, unitedly, etc. and so on and so forth, which is monopoly of sin. And then you can see furthermore, which is 880, which is to amalgamate, befriend the victim's friends, family, and neighbors into joining Freemasonry. And here it is. And so you can see that it is 880. You can see it is Freemasonry, it is brotherhood, it is cooperation in the criminal world. It's shaking hands, which is a bargain, which is a deal, which is a status quo of crime, which is a negotiation. It's neighborliness, it is fraternization, it is mutual regard in the criminal world, it is sympathy in the criminal world, it's partiality, discrimination, favor, it's prejudice, which is white supremacy and bigotry and hatred, and partiality, discrimination, favor. And 914 injustice, which is the judges, Freemason judges that sell justice out of court, who are pervert. 914 is 934, which is 655, which is a carrier of crime, which is deforming the victim's character, by perversion, by distortion of truth, by organized crime, which is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is political corruption, which is to break people's careers, and which is to aid and abet the murders. 703 you can see, which is part and parcel of 707 as well. And then you can see that it is friend of a friend, it's acquaintance, and it's friend of the family, it's a lifelong friend, and it is a crony, and it is fellow townsmen and fellow countrymen. So a large web of deceit is knitted around a victim, but do not miss that it is neighbor as well. And I do not communicate with any neighbors where I live, because I've been told I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death, so on and so forth. And then you can see that it is partnership in crime, that it is 707, you can see, which is colleagueship, accomplice, helper in crime, partner in crime, aiding and abetting, money used and sharer. 703 aiding is part and parcel of 707. They are intertwined, interconnected. And then you can see that 603 is tergiversator, which is change of allegiance from law to crime, and we shall go to that one straight away, and that is tergiversation. 603, which is change of allegiance, where allegiance is duty, loyalty, and responsibility that changes and reverses from law to crime, which is tergiversation. And that's why it is, you can see, undutiful. Next, opposite of duty, loyalty, and responsibility, and you can see that it's impropriety. Dishonesty is the best policy, and you can see it is renegade, it is traitorship and treason, and it is swearing of the judicial oath, and it is oath disavowal, it is forswearing, it is denial of the truth, negation of the law, negation of the truth, negation of the evidence, and it is abrogation. 752, which is countermand, counter order, and counteraction, and which is making the law letter dead. And it is usurpation, it is making the law null and void. And then you can see, which is of core importance, that Freemasonry is two-faced. It is deceiver, it is betrayer, it is renegade, it is forswearing, it's collaboration, and it is collaborator and defector, and it is telltale, and it is schematic, which is also gang warfare, and it is dissension, and it is also splinter group. And then you can see 904, that it is offender. Freemasonry is offender, tergiversator, which is betrayal, change of allegiance from law to crime. And you can see that it is double dealing, it is hypocritical, because it is an axis which is political corruption, which is a corrupt administration on the axis that is a trade center, which is a storm center. I am quoting from the International Law Thesaurus 208, and therefore it's double dealing, and it is a trade center that change people's allegiance from law to crime and buy their loyalties, and bribery and corruption is done, which is part and parcel of Freemasonry in 612 in the top thesaurus of Rogers as well. And you can see renegade, it's unfaithful, it's false, and it's untrue, dutiful, and it is change one's mind, and it is change one's tune and do a U-turn, and then which is to change allegiance from law to crime. And then you can see that it is playing false, it's forsake, it's abandon the law and relinquish the law, and you can see play false. And then you can see apostolize, which is to change sides, it is to change one's allegiance from law to crime, it's turn renegade, turn traitor, join the opposition. And then it is to betray the victim, and it is to be dishonest. And of course, it is to collaborate, which is yes-manship, aiding and abetting murders. And my father and I, we had to disown my mother and brother just before he died, because the loyalties were bought of my brother and mother by the Masons, which was, it was absolutely crucial for us to do at that stage. And that was given on his death to hundreds of people with the signatures that we had disowned my mother and brother. And then you can see 363, changing of mind, which is the International Law Thesaurus, the connotation of tergiversation, again, change of allegiance from law to crime. And it's doing a marvelous job, which is Barbara and Kiffler, who's a PhD, who has edited the International Law Thesaurus, which is by her. And it's quoted from there, and it says that tergiversation is treason, it's traitorship, it's betrayal, it's turning traitor, and then it's joining the opposition, it's going over to the opposition, siding with the enemy, defection, breakaway, which is the breakaway group, splinter group, desertion of the law and relapse and disloyalty, and disowning the law, renunciation of the law, forswearing apostolize, it is recant, it is collaborator, it is traitorship and treason, and it is fifth columnist, and it is schematic backslider, and it's change one's mind, and it's convert, change of allegiance from law to crime, change sides, and do a U-turn and dance to another tune, which is to play another game for the entrapment of the victim by hook or by crook, in order to do the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, change one's allegiance, because it is materialistic gain of cash or kind that people are after, or career advancement, which I shall go to in a minute in Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood. And then you can see that it's tergiversation, collaborating, and faithlessness, and schematic, and opportunist, and disloyal. And you have seen that it is change one's allegiance, 363. Furthermore, you can see that Freemasonry is insider trading by another name in the book of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, which is defined in 356 in the International Rogers Thesaurus. So it is 732 is illicit business, which is illegal commerce. It is illegal activity of making money. That is how my husband is the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons after my death, and that's why the policies, life insurance policies, have never been cancelled, because my husband cannot achieve these murders without the Freemason judges and police that change their allegiance from law to crime, without their organizing these murders. And you can see it's illegal commerce, it is shady dealings, it's organized crime, it's mafia, it's black market, but it's also prostitution and pimping, which is NSIs and gang rape, and you can see black market and so on and so forth. And then you can also see that it's protection racket. I'm given many threats for my children and myself, and it is drug pusher, dope pusher, and it is drug lord, it is receiver of stolen goods, it's sell under the counter, bribes are secretly passed under the counter. Furthermore, you can see that Freemasonry is in the top thesaurus of Rogers, which is concealment, which is secrecy, latency, and concealment, suppression of truth, burial of truth, hidden agenda, and that is it's a disguise, and it is which is burial of the victim, which is to silence the victim, which is quietude by death, which is the term of it is Freemasonry termed in the Rogers Thesaurus as quietude by death. And then you can see it is also defined in Stephen Knight as Freemasonry is an underground movement devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain. Anyways, you can see that 5 to 5 Freemasonry is obfuscation, it is misinformation, disinformation, misteach, it is a white lie, it is mental dishonesty, subterfuge, trickery and deceit, which is 542, which is a false friend, which is wolf in sheep's clothing, it's entrapment of the victim by framing the victim. And then you can see suppression of truth, and it's official cover-up of the unofficial and criminal activity done undercover, it is untruth, and it is deceitfulness, it is duplicity, it is silence, as you can see. And then you can see it is secret society and Freemasonry, it is oracular confession, oh God gracious, and that it is underhanded dealing, and so on and so forth, which is of core importance, because then you will also see that it is a death deal in 308, which is pernicious, which the judges are charged for doing a death deal, and it is entrapment of the victim, and it is a death, oh my God, death trap, which is in 356 which is insider trading, which is Freemasonry. Again, it's another connotation of it. So it is just confirming and affirming the same things over and over again in all its multifacets, that it is devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain, and it's only aiding and abetting the murders by hook or by crook, and that is what this partyism is all about, for financial gain and career advancement, or materialistic gain of cash or kind, so on and so forth. Anyways, what I have to show you that Freemasonry, that is in 5 to 5 itself, that it is Freemasonry is unrecognized, it's disguise, it's distortion of truth, and it is which you have seen that it's a white lie anyways, and it's subterfuge, which is reverse of the truth, and it is dishonest, and it is non-committal, it is unaccountability, it is tight-lipped, it is under the cloak of darkness, it is under the carpet, and it is like a thief in the night, it is underground, it is excuse me please, and then that it is to bedim the victim, and it is to keep one's mouth shut, and neither neither deny nor confirm. So it is unaccountability because they're deadly guilty on every count. And then you can see Freemasonry 541, which is part and parcel of 525, that Freemasonry is falsehood, it is untruthfulness, it is deceitfulness, it is improbity, which is dishonesty is the best policy, that it is oath breaking, it's perjury, it's false swearing, it is invention of lies, fabrication of lies, faking, forgery, and invention, and again double talk, and it is sophistry. Double talk, because that is what is the corrupt administration when they say, hello, how are you? It's not very simple. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. It is underhanded dealing, and it is a hidden agenda, and it is foul play. Anyways, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And so double talk, and then you can see sophistry, which is proving that white is black, and then distortion of truth, misrepresentation of facts, and it's false coloring, and it is misrepresentation of facts, and distortion is distorted image, and it is false image. You can see in the top thesaurus of Rogers. You can go to misrepresentation 552, and then you can see duplicity, it is false conduct, it's improbity, and that it is 542, which is deception, which is trickery and deceit, which is false show, which is, you can see that it's a sham, it's hypocrisy and deceit, it is imposture, and it is fake, and it is false piety, and it is collusion, it is put up job, it is a frame up. So it is organized crime, and it's a frame up, and it is pretension, it's cunning, it's treacherous, perfidious, it is a falsification of truth, it's fakery, it's phony, it's deceptive, it's cheating and bungling and hypocritical, and that it is two-faced, and it is perfidious, and it is swear that black is white, and furthermore that it is utter falsehood, and it is tell a lie, it is tell a white lie, and it is tell a tale, and it is tell a fib, and it is invent, and it's make believe, and it's put a false construction, which is misconstruction, which is a crime where which is the misuse of authority, which is fraudulent conversion of the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, breach of public trust, which is misuse of authority, which is the very charge of the Freemason judges, police, and the public servants that join Freemasonry and shed their impartiality and neutrality of British law, and change their duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime. And then you can go to 543, subterfuge, which is another very, very important connotation of Freemasonry, which occurs not only in 525 in the top thesaurus of Rogers, but also in the International Rogers Thesaurus, that insider trading, which is the Parliament's inquiry charging them as insider trading, which is illicit business, which is also subterfuge, and subterfuge is untruth, it is reverse of truth, it's opposite of truth, and it is organized crime, it is trickery and deceit, and it is a visual fallacy, and it is a facade, it is behind the scenes, and it is untruth what is shown, it is defamation, which is done with untruth, which is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape changed into something different. You have to go to 178 in the Rogers Thesaurus again to find out that it is the secret influence of Freemasonry and political corruption is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, and changed to something different, which is enlisted over there. It's none of my making. It's shocking and flabbergasting. That's why it's been brought to the public eye by the people of the United Kingdom, and that's why there's been a hue and cry among the non-Masons, exploited by the Masons in the United Kingdom, which are in majority white. We are only a minority, but the minorities are mistreated to the utmost, and that's why it's racism, and so on and so forth. So you can see subterfuge, which is falsehood, it is reverse of truth, opposite, it is reverse the image victim, image of the victim, which is by organized crime, which is distortion of truth, falsification of truth, which is 14 in the top thesaurus of Rogers. And then you can go on to see that subterfuge is a lie, it's a downright lie, it's a shameless lie, barefaced lie, it's a white lie, and that it's a false statement, it is a broken word, it is Dicer's oath, it is breach of promise, breach of public trust, it's false oath, it is false evidence, it is pack of lies, and it is trumped up story, it is fabrication, it is false excuse, misinformation, disinformation, misteach, misrepresentation of facts, distortion of truth, perversion, falsification of truth, misinterpretation, a lie, and anti-propaganda, which has been done in this case by the police in big numbers at the Ovens Park, which is the student halls of Manchester University students, where thousands of Manchester University students live. And we have read this case from 2004 till 2014, every single day for 10 long years. And so the police that came to amalgamate and combine them, who were the leaders of crime, can easily be demarcated and pinned down who the hell they are, because they wanted to amalgamate the students into swearing black is white and white is black, into doing all the white lies and concoctions, and also doing the immoral and the criminal activity, which was unmasked to me in big numbers by them, because they loved me like anything, and they were impartial and neutral in big numbers, and they were full of justice and love and affection, and so on and so forth. God bless them. Anyways, so you can see that this is subterfuge, is it's a white lie, and it is a fraud, and it is qualification, which is alteration, change to something different, and alter the case, and it is concealment, hiding the truth, and it is pretense, it's a false show, it's make-believe, and it is false plea, and it is pretense, it's excuse and evasion of truth, and subterfuge, so on and so forth. Let's go furthermore. You can see that these are both my sons, the older boy and the younger boy, and these are after separation, these photographs. Children always love both parents. And then that one, you can see, that is my father, who was brutally murdered by the Masons because they couldn't buy his loyalties, but they did buy the loyalties of my mother and brother that we had to disown, and they did buy the loyalties of the 49 PhD students of my father. We were told to our face, my father was told in my presence by somebody in the United Kingdom, that the Freemasons have bought the loyalties of all your friends, relatives, and your 49 PhD students as well. No one will come to help you, and so when he was on deathbed and when he was sick, nobody came to save him, but they all came to celebrate his death once he died, and their loyalties had been bought by the devil, the Masons, and which is a stark reality, not only in Rhodesisaurus and International Rhodesisaurus and in Stephen Knight and Martin Short, but they're absolute truth, whatever is being said in there, and so on and so forth. I'll put a seal on it, for I've been made to be experienced with all that. I have many false friends, and then you can see my father with both my sons, and that is with the older boy, and those are both the children, and these are my sons with me. Before separation in the matrimonial home, which is 55 Barrington Road, Altrincham, Cheshire, WA14 4HZ, which was a joint property but was sold behind my back with the forgery, and they had tried to sell it again and again, and so on and so forth. It was in my public petition to the House of Commons to give that property to my sons, but now that they are doing very well, I'm not asking for it. I only want that the divorce be declared, the life insurance policies be cancelled, and my children be reunited with me. The only three things I'm asking for. And so people should live and let live, and that is the democracy, rights, and justice should prevail. And those are my sons, and then that is my father again. And so these are the photographs, and these are the three speeches of mine on the web, Magic Bus Lady to the people of the United Kingdom. And then the second speech, The Light of the Universe. The third speech, Here and Now or Never by Jag Kanchana Singh. That is Dr. L.M. Singhvi, the High Commissioner of India in London, that I interviewed for the African Caribbean and Asian Lawyers Group of Central London Law Society, that I was their Asian legal correspondent, Asian editor, and you can see that one. It says Jag Kanchana Singh right here. And then that is on the cover of the magazine. And above, you can see that one is Peter Mandelson with Dr. L.M. Singhvi, which is the report I did on the Indian Golden Independent Anniversary in Hilton Hotel in London, where Right Honorable Tony Blair was the Prime Minister. He was invited by Dr. L.M. Singhvi, High Commissioner of India in London, but he couldn't come, so he sent his friend MP, which was Peter Mandelson, to grace the function, and that's Peter Mandelson again. And then that one you can see by Jag Kanchana Singh, which is another interview that I did for Futures and Options, which is African Caribbean Edition Lawyers Group, ACA magazine of Central London Law Society. And that is His Honor Judge Mota Singh, which is again on the cover of the magazine. But I did many other interviews for them, among which I also did the of the Chief Justice Supreme Court of India, Justice Ahmadi, and all these interviews that I did, the work that I did with the Central London Law Society. The copies of it are with the Manchester University students and Metropolitan University students. They also have the copies of my father's and mine photographs that you have seen. They also have the copies of all the court orders, bogus court orders, and bogus court welfare reports made without court directions for the illegal possession of my children. Further, with the offender of the case, my husband, who is an adulterous husband and an abusive father, and so on and so forth, and the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons after my death. And that is the very charge on the Freemason judges and police, partners in crime, changing their allegiance, duty, and responsibility, amalgamating and combining Tom, Dick, and Harry into it for achieving the murders, and even the public servants in the network of corruption and network of the criminal corruption in wrongful column or mutual support, which I shall show you in Martin Short and Stephen Knight. And this is Judge Mota Singh on the web, which is a very handsome photograph of His Honor Judge Mota Singh. And then I go on to show yourselves in Stephen Knight and Martin Short, which is of grave importance, which I shall, there's a lot on this phone, so I've got to make sure that I go to show you from, these are my father's books, and it is somewhere here that I have to show yourselves, which is here. You can see that one is Inside the Brotherhood by Martin Short. And here is the Parliament's inquiry on page 17 of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood. The Home Affairs Committee of the House of Commons conducted the inquiry into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry into judiciary and the police, concluded by Right Honourable Chris Mullin, Chair of House of Commons Home Select Committee, who concluded nothing undermines public confidence more than the knowledge that some public servants are members of the secret society whose sole aim is mutual self-advancement in wrongful column or mutual support for self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind. And then you can go into seeing on the next page that Freemasonry is on page 15 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, that how the defenders of the law become the offenders of the law. The police forces are charged of organizing crime, which is right here, for organized crime, for being a nexus, for being a hub, for being a chain, a bond, and being in constant corruption with the network of corrupt public servants that do a corrupt and secret influence of the secret society, which is 178 in the Top Thesaurus of Rogers, defined in there, which is changed to something different, which is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, and publicize it and do the breach of public trust, embezzlement of the rights of the people. And then you can see that these public servants come from many different parts, different areas of British life: the law, the local self-government, the education, the medical profession, City of London, businesses, armed forces, home civil service, foreign office, secret service, and even the Houses of Parliament. But you can see that the local self-government is the council that plays a very dirty role, where the housing is also part and parcel of it and plays a very dirty role as well. For I have the experience. I've been made homeless, jobless, and penniless. I was homeless for 10 long years, and there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And then you can also see that the Freemasons, they break people's careers and even break people themselves. And you can also go into Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, to find out the medical profession is very corrupt, where the GP surgeries are involved as well, along with the medical doctors, consultants of the hospitals, along with the hospital managers, as well as the hospital administration, and so on and so forth. So it's none of my making. There's a lot in detail in book of Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, and also the MRI's Masons Lodge is listed in the book of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, where the attempts were made on my father's life, and it was brought to our notice by another, which was a good doctor who was not a Freemason, who was also British white, of course, fair-minded, who wanted to put us on the guard, that wanted to save the life of my father, and was telling us how the attempts were made on his life, which was, we were told, in the eye hospital. However, you can go to page 13 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood and find that Freemasonry is mafia, and that it is the organization of criminals that organizes crime. It treats victims as criminals and criminals as victims, that Freemasonry is consciencelessness, and that the Freemasons, if there are any good Freemasons that do not lose their conscience, who are honest Masons and complain about the immoral, the criminal and immoral conduct of their brothers, of other Freemasons, then what happens? It is not the wrongdoers, look at that, not the wrongdoers who face the ostracism and exclusion from the lodge, but it is the honest Masons who are ousted from the Masons' lodge, and those who do the dirty work for them, who do the rob, loot, and kill, who anesthetize and gang rape women, are garlanded, they're honored, they're promoted, they're rewarded, and their crimes are condoned, and victims are treated as criminals and criminals as victims. So the immoral are promoted and loved, and the criminals are loved, and the ones that are moral and ethical, they are the ones who are defamed, but the non-whites are mistreated to the utmost. That fact remains because it's racism, it's a hierarchy. And then you come to page 12 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, which is giving out, again, bringing to the public eye that well-publicized events show the Freemasons acting corruptly, that in Freemasonry, crimes are condoned or unpunished, favors granted or withheld, that the inept are promoted, the able are destroyed, the offending parent awarded custody. You can see that one here, which is my husband. What a shame. An adulterous husband, the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons after my death, and remarried to the other woman, and the divorce has never taken place, life insurance policy is never cancelled, and the judges and the police in Freemasonry are charged of being devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain, being into organized crime, into mafia, into amalgamating and combine people into the immoral and criminal actions, and public servants as well, and so on and so forth, and from all different areas of public life. And then you can see that here in the forward again, that Freemasonry is riddled with ill will and malice, which is the opposite of the judicial oath. Judicial oath is to do good to all manner of people without fear or favor, without ill will and affection. And then you can also see that Freemasonry is exploited for career advancement and financial gain, which is the very ruling of the Parliament's inquiry, the statement of Right Honourable Chris Mullin, the chair of the House of Commons Home Select Committee, who said nothing undermines public confidence more than the knowledge that some public servants are members of the secret society whose sole aim is mutual self-advancement in wrongful column or mutual support for self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind, and that Freemasonry is selfishness, it is crookedness, and it is misused for corrupt ends of any kind. Furthermore, you can see page 18 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, that bringing to the public eye again that Freemasons only divert the discourse. They do not deal with matters because they are deadly guilty on the court. They do alarming miscarriage of justice. They do just the opposite of what the truth is. They are into untruth and into criminal offense and so on and so forth. So they do not deal with matters. They keep on diverting the discourse, because they're also into witch hunting, they're also felonious, they have a criminal intent, they only want to rob, loot, and kill, and share the property and the rights of the people, and so on and so forth, do the embezzlement of the rights of the people, the extortion, and so on and so forth, which is the misuse of authority, which is the very charge of the Parliament's inquiry on the Freemason judges and police, and so on and so forth. And so their allegiance has changed from law to crime, and then they carry on in their criminal intent. And then you can see page 185 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, again bringing to the public eye, Freemasonry is insider trading by another name. Go to 356 in the International Law Thesaurus to find out that insider trading is defined as illicit business, which you have seen in 732 in the International Law Thesaurus, that it is organized crime, it's pimping, it's prostitution, it's mafia, and it's black market, and it is illegal commerce, and it is protection racket, and sell under the counter, and all those things, and black market, of course. And then you can see here on page 185 in Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood that several High Court judges are top Masons, and that they treat the ordinary man, people, or the common man of Britain as expendable nuisance, but they mistreat the non-whites to the utmost, the worst of all, because it's a hierarchy and it's white supremacy. And you can see page 186 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood is again bringing another important factor to the public eye, that there is nothing called merit or justice in Freemasonry. It says, forget about merit. Freemasonry is all about due subordination, which is yes-manship, which is rob, loot, and kill, make nude movies of innocent mothers, which is to hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape. And then you can see page 187 is that Freemasonry is a hierarchy. It is built on rank and fortune, but it's also bringing to the public eye that Freemasonry is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath, which is here. When Parliament passed the Unlawful Societies Act, it outlawed all organizations, the members of which are required to take an oath not authorized by the law. That description fitted Freemasonry perfectly. So it's an unlawful society with an unlawful oath. And I always say that it's none of my making. Even if I wasn't born or I never came to the United Kingdom, it was all happening. Then you can go to page 188 and you can discover again that Freemasonry is defined here, that Freemasonry is a seditious force of British society, distorting the decisions of the state against the interests of the state and against the populace at large. And you have already seen in 708 in the top thesaurus of Rogers that Freemasonry is charged as sedition. And you've seen in insider trading 732 that it is organized crime, it is mafia and prostitution and pimping, and it is distorting the decisions of the state, against the populace at large. Illegal commerce, it is shady dealings, and it is trafficking, and it is smuggling, and it's drug doping and all those things. And then you can see drug pusher and dope pusher and all those things, selling under the counter. And then this is the Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, which is the basis of the Parliament's inquiry, because Martin Short's book is a sequel. It follows from the book of Stephen Knight's work. And so this is also accepted by the Parliament's inquiry into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry, and so on and so forth, as evidence. And then you can see Freemasonry in the prologue on page 3. It's defined here that Freemasonry is an underground movement devoted to murder and terrorism, which is for financial gain. You have seen in Martin Short inside the Brotherhood. And then you can see that their Freemasonry has branches in many different non-communist countries. That's how there are branches in India as well. And the attempts were made on my father's life in the United Kingdom. And then the threats were given in the United Kingdom. They were followed up in India. And he was brutally murdered in India. And I haven't been to India ever since 2004, since I came back. Oh my God, what a shame. Then you can see that Freemasonry is an establishment-based mafia, and that Freemasons, its members, derive benefit from the Brotherhood only so long as the status quo is maintained. And the status quo is that it is an underground movement. Freemasonry is an underground movement devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain. So it is to aid and abet the murders by hook or by crook, by false charging the victim, for entrapping the victim, for defaming the victim, for doing a smear campaign of opposition to the law, which is 609, the Splinter Group as well, and 178 in the top thesaurus as well, Rogers. And it is all confirming and reaffirming exactly the same things over and over again, and breaking the people's careers, and doing nepotism and inequality and discrimination, partiality and favor, and doing demeriting and discrediting and humiliating the victim, and excommunicating the victim, and exploiting to the utmost, and doing all the immoral, unethical, and criminal things, and doing the detriment of all kinds to the victim. And anyways, you can see page 4 of the prologue of which is the introduction of Stephen Knight's, that is the basis of the Parliament's inquiry, is giving something of extreme importance here, that Freemasonry is entering into areas of life that it never should intrude. And that's how it is break into people's home at night, and then it is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is written in black and white, embedded in black and white, declared and documented in 788 in the top thesaurus of Rogers. And I can show you that. And you can see here that the abuse, the next thing of core importance is of the Parliament's inquiry, that the abuse of Freemasonry causes alarming miscarriages of justice. That is why they divert the discourse. They do not deal with matters because they are 100% guilty, and they do not want to be caught red-handed, because they are red-handed. They are the offender, which is Tergiver Sater is offender, as you have already seen. And then you can see the great debate, which is Freemason police. That's a police chapter in Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, that Freemasonry police is charged as inseditious. For that, you can go to the definition of inseditious and unscrupulous, which is the very same definition in the International Rogers Thesaurus in 245, and I can show you that one, which is that it is breach of public trust, it is changing allegiance from law to crime, it is untruthfulness, it is deceitfulness, it is consciencelessness, it is traitorship and treason, and so on and so forth. Anyways, and dereliction of duty and transgression and trespass and encroachment and so on and so forth. And of course, it's insider trading. However, you can see that the police is charged by the Parliament's inquiry as partners in crime with the judges for aiding the murders and abetting. And so the police is charged. You can see the great debate the police is charged for arranging robberies and murders well in advance in the Masons' Lodge between the police and the criminals at the Masons' Lodge. And then after arranging them well in advance, they vanish from the scene of the crime and allow the crime to take place. And then you can see that the non-Masons being hounded out of service, the livelihoods ruined, and blackmail and violence is done to the non-Masons by the police, the Freemason police. Oh my God, what a shame they are when they change their religions from law to crime. And then you can also see that the Freemasonry is a large web of deceit. It's a network of corruption which is knitted around a victim who tries to survive the system, and then it is to ruin the victim, and so on and so forth, which you can see is again in the chapter of the Great Debate that carries on, unmasking a lot in here. And then you can see page 52 of the Great Debate in the police chapter again, that Jack the Ripper, 5 prostitutes were murdered, and then they were murdered because they knew some secret and they were to be silenced. But Freemasonry is in fact termed in the Rogers Thesaurus that Freemasonry is quietude by death. So it is to silence the victim so that they can do the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people and do an official cover-up. And that's how my husband cannot achieve these murders without the Freemason judges and police organizing these murders and then doing an official cover-up of breach of public trust by doing the white lies and concoctions and bringing to the public eye the deceptions and the frauds and the breach of public trust, the criminal offense and public offense of which which is the very charge of the Parliament on the Freemason judges, police and the public servants. And you can see page 53 of The Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, which is a great debate again, which is giving out that Freemasonry is official cover-up, because it is official cover-up even in 525 in the top thesaurus of Rogers that you have seen, and it's also official cover-up in the insider trading, which is in 356 in the International Rogers Thesaurus. So the official cover-up of the Jack the Ripper cases, the Ripper murders, you can see was done by none else than Sir Charles Warren, the Commissioner of Metropolitan Police. So the Masons promote Masons, they are on top. It's a carrier of crime in 934 in the top thesaurus of Rogers, and everywhere you can see the promotions are done, which is unmasked like anything in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight. They are dominated and filled with the facts that the promotions are done. And then you can see that this the Chief Commissioner of Police, Sir Charles Warren, who did the official cover-up, personally destroyed every evidence that the Ripper had ever left, so on and so forth. So, and then you can see that they arrange the murders and then they want to do the official cover-up as well. But it's not a secret. It's all in the open, especially my case. Tom, Dick and Harry knows about it. And then you can see it's common knowledge that I've been anesthetized and gang raped. I've been told by Manchester University students, thousands of them, and by the common people as well. So what a shame it is. Whom do they want to deny it to when it is common knowledge and it's an open secret? And then you can see page 114 of Stephen Knight, The Brotherhood, where it says quite clearly this is the concluding chapter of the police chapter, saying that Freemasonry is a Masonic witch hunt, and that many people want to see Masonry banned. Many people want to see Masonry banned in the police. And then also it is giving out that there are political extremists that sit in the House of Commons that are into aiding and abetting murders, into crushing democracy, rights and justice, and into swearing black is white and white is black. They are dishonest, unscrupulous, and criminal and immoral, and so on and so forth. And then you can see again in In The Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, which is page 119, is the unlawful oath of the Freemasons, that Freemasons swear on oath to help any other Mason to the detriment of non-Masons. And detriment is to rob, loot, and kill, is to make nude movies of innocent mothers, is to hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is, again, known to Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then, which the books are saying as well, that it's immoral and criminal world. You have seen page 13 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, and then chapter of the government, page 205, is giving out that the bribes are secretly passed under the table, that there is a well-established system within Freemasonry for passing the money untraceably from one Mason to another. Furthermore, you can see the system, which is the judges that are charged in Freemasonry of selling justice out of court. It says quite clearly that Freemasonry is such a great eminence that proceedings in open court are merely an outward show, while everything is decided well in advance, long before the cases involving Masons reach the court. And once the bribes are passed under the table and they sell the justice out of court, the judges, they are charged of being pernicious, and pernicious has two connotations in the International Law of the Thesaurus. The first one is 308, which is the unlawful killing of the victim by hook or by crook, which is by organized crime, which is to hasten the death of the victim, whether it is by mass murder, or it's a riot, or it's a hired killer, or it's by poison, or it's an accident. One way or the other, they want to kill the victim and they want to hasten the death, to put them to death, and to do an assassination of the victim, which is by organized crime, which is deliberate, which is a death deal, which is also to nip everything in the bud, to do an official cover-up, and so on and so forth, which is well known. So it is not a cover-up, it is well known. That's the way it is. They are guilty and red-handed, so on and so forth. And the second connotation of pernicious is in the International Law of the Thesaurus, in the 1000, the entry is, which is ungodly, which is vicious and evil and wicked, which is to lay profane hands on the victim, which is obvious that it is anesthetize, hypnotize, and gang rape. It makes it quite simple. And then you can see that page 148 of the the chapter of the Dissidents in The Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, it's bringing to the public eye that Freemasonry is an organization which is so morally polluted that it may even cease to exist. So you can see that I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. And then you can say only the fighters have any hope of beating the system once it works against them. So you've got to fight out the injustices if you become a victim of Freemasonry. And then you can also see that on page 149 of the Dissidents in The Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, there is no defense against an evil which only the victims and the perpetrators know exists. So you've got to make sure that you bring everything to the public eye, and that is of core importance, and that the Freemasons are perpetrators and they're evil and wicked, which is the principle of evil, which is unscrupulous, defined in the top thesaurus of Rogers in 934, which is also part and parcel is 655, which is to deform the victim's character, which is pervert, which is to anesthetize and gang rape, and also anesthetize and give injections to hasten death. The word Pierce appears in 655, and you can see all of that there, and 679, which is to anesthetize, and so on and so forth. And then you can see these people can poison every part of the life of the person's life. And then you can also see that is again in the chapter of Dissidents, it's giving out that Freemasonry is a network of unprincipled Freemasons, which I told you that you can see 645 in the International Law of the Thesaurus for the connotation of unscrupulous and unprincipled, which is inseditious as well as breach of public trust, sedition and consciencelessness, and etc. But you can also see in 934 in the top thesaurus of Rogers that it's a carrier of crime. It is the underworld and the criminal world. It is 7 deadly sins. It is steeped in vice, oozing with sin. And it is pervert, which is 655, which is to deform the victim's character by hook or by crook, and which is distortion of truth, burial of truth, and it is detriment, and so on and so forth. However, we go to Media Law by Jeffrey Robertson and Andrew Nicol, and then you can see that here is the Bill Goodwin case, which is giving out that the British judges are unanimous demands from the British judges for from Bill Goodwin to which they were breaking the law of the land, and they were demanding him to tell his journalistic source of information, which was his right not to disclose that by the Article 10 of the Freedom and Expression of British law, the open justice principle. And so he had to go to the European court, and where in Strasbourg he was given the justice, and it came as a shock to the British judges that were at every level in wrongful column of mutual support, which is just mirroring the state of affairs of the country. The Parliament's inquiry, that is the charge of Right Honourable Chris Mullin's concluding statement, the wrongful column of mutual support, and it is sectarianism, which is cliquishness, and which is wrongful column of mutual support. And then you can see Media Law by Jeffrey Robertson and Andrew Nicol giving out quite clearly that the British public is denied the best evidence to the real thing on which to make up its own mind in cases of 4 acute public interest, which is public good, 4 cases of acute public good, public interest, that is Iraq war weapons case, Stephen Lawrence's case, Bloody Sunday case, and Princess Diana's death case as well. And what was shown was dramatic reconstructions, partial and editing form, which is a misconstruction, a misrepresentation of facts, breach of public trust, which is destroying democracy, rights, and justice, and it is doing the embezzlement of the rights of the people. For the right of the people is the first right of every citizen of the country, is right to truth, and so on and so forth. And then you can go furthermore that even the BBC is being charged of doing fakery as of truth, and you can see fakery, and it's also charged of being dishonest in the much loved programs of Blue Peter, Children in Need, and Comic Relief. So it is very disillusioning how the media is also misused like anything by which is misrule and misgovernment, and which is by the people who are in authority, the misuse of authority, and so on and so forth, which is criminal offense and public offense. And then you can see, as I said, it's a breach of public trust. And then you can see the open justice principle of British law, which is safeguarding the rights of the common man of Britain, which is, again, it's a big public service that Jeffrey Robertson and Andrew Nicol has done by giving this book to the people of the United Kingdom, but it is sold internationally and loved everywhere. It's sold in so many nooks and parts of the whole world. It's written in the foreword of the book. You can find that out, which I am only quoting. And then you can see the open justice principle. Publicity is the very soul of justice. It is a keen spur to the exertion and the surest of all guards against improbity. It keeps the judge himself while trying under trial. And then it also says that the open justice principle has many important virtues, which are that, namely, that the evidence and the argument should be publicly known so that the society may judge for itself the quality of justice administered in its name, and that British law is public scrutiny. Whether justice is done or not, its test is public scrutiny, and then which means that public scrutiny is the rights of free speech and right of publicity, to report, to discuss, to comment, to criticize, to impart, and to receive and impart information and ideas. And then it says that justice should be seen to be done, and then justice is done in public so that it may be discussed and criticized in public. And then furthermore, that the open justice principle has many virtues, among which that open justice deters perjury. And then on page 20, it also says that the other virtues of the open justice principle is that it protects against perjury and deters judicial misconduct as well, and so on and so forth. And then Politics of the Judiciary by J.A.G. Griffiths, another famous book, which is again bringing a lot of important things to the public eye, which is in the forefront of the book. On the onset of the book, it's giving in this chapter, in the opening chapter of Courts and Judges, that how the racism is at the forefront, which is done by the judiciary and the police the charge of the parliament's inquiry, and that how the police and the others, they impinge on the individual rights and citizens of affecting the freedom and property of the people, which is the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, which is fraudulent conversion, and that is the misuse of authority. And that is mirroring the state of affairs of the country. It is exactly mirroring the parliament's inquiry of the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry into judiciary and the police and the public servants of Freemasonry. And that's what it is. And then you can see the political role that is defined in here of the British judges, or any judges anywhere in the world, I believe, would be the same, which is in Politics of the Judiciary by J.A.G. Griffiths, that the judges are supposed to be impartial and neutral, and that they are not supposed to have any personal bias or prejudice at all, and that they are not supposed to belong to any political party or any one outside the court. They are supposed to be completely impartial and neutral, and that is in this quote here. You can look at it quite properly, and then you can see, and it is also bringing to the public eye that what is at the heart of British law is to safeguard the rights of the common man of Britain by its allegiance to public good and public interest. And what is defined as public good and public interest is the interests of the state, number one, which is also called the national interest, and number three, it is also the interest of the populace at large, the interest of people at large, and not as contrasted, and not the sections of the society which is confirming and affirming that Freemasonry is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath, and it should not be. Partiality, discrimination, favor is prohibited, forbidden, and it is a public offense and a criminal offense. And then you can see that the judges in the United Kingdom are beholden politically not to the government of the day, not to the Prime Minister, but to the law and to the concept of public interest, that they owe their allegiance. You can see here that the judges are under the throne, but that seat is occupied in their eyes not by the Prime Minister, not by the law, but by their conception to public interest, and it is to the law and to that conception that they owe their allegiance. In that lies their strength and their weaknesses and their value and threat. And furthermore, it also is bringing to the public eye quite clearly that no man is above the law, not even the king. Even the king ought to be under God and the law, and that is the way it is. And furthermore, in the conclusion of Politics of the Judiciary, it is bringing another very important thing to the forefront. It's concluding that far more on the judiciary, our freedoms depend on the willingness of the press, politicians, and others to publicize the breach of these freedoms and the continuing vulnerability of ministers, civil servants, police, and other public officials, the powerful private interests, to accusations that these freedoms are being infringed. So those freedoms or those rights of the people that are being infringed, are being broken, are being wrecked, and are being where the encroachment is being done and the justice is not being done, the injustice need to be brought into the public eye, and that is what they are saying here quite clearly. In other words, we depend far more on the political climate and on the vigilance of those members of the society who, for a variety of reasons, some political and some humanitarian, make it their business to seek to hold the public authorities within their proper limits. So who break the laws of the land are not in their proper limits. They are into breaking the laws of the land. They are into improper. They are into criminal offense and public offense, and they need to be kept within their proper limits and to be held within their proper limits. And that is what it is bringing to the public eye, and that is of extreme importance. It's exactly the same in Martin Short and Stephen Knight, as well as in media law, which you can see. And then you can see the International Rogers Thesaurus, edited by Barbara Ann Kifler, which is again bringing to the public eye, which is of extreme importance. You can see insider trading in 356 is illicit business. Insider trading is illicit business. it is fraudulence, it is deceit, it's imposition, which is to anesthetize and gang rape, and it's cheating and bungling, it's gerrymandering, it is switch and bait, it is pyramid, it is Venus trap, and it is a death trap. And then you can see that it is subterfuge, which is reverse of the truth, which is falsification of the truth. And you can see falseness, and it is intentional fallacy, and it is calculated deception. That is why it is a serial rape, and it carries on for years on together. And then it is mirage, and it is victimization, it is delusion, it is swindling, flammery, it is entrapment of the victim, and it is a death trap, you can see here. And then you can see that it is underhanded dealing, it is misleading, it is duplicity, it is foul play, it is trickery and deceit, and it is corruption, it is swindling, it is gimmick, it is sleight of hand, it is dirty trick and dirty deal and fast deal. And that you can see that it is mislead, misguide, mislead astray. But most of all, most important is that it is faking out someone, which is swearing black is white and white is black, which is changing allegiance from law to crime, and so on and so forth, which is untruth, which is defamation of the victim. And then you can see, excuse me, please, that one is that misuse of authority in the international law, the thesaurus, you can see quite clearly, is misuse, is abuse, it is mishandling, it is wrong use, misemployment, and that it is corrupt administration, it is malversion, maladministration, diversion, it is embezzlement of the rights of the people. And that's why, they divert the discourse, it's a diversion. And it's conversion, it's misappropriation, it is prostitution and violation of the law, and fraud, and it's conversion, and it's fraudulent conversion, which is the embezzlement of the rights of the people. And it's embezzlement, of course, which is right here. And then you can also see that it is witch hunting, it is misconduct, it is abuse of office, ill treatment, and it's oppression of the rights of the people, it's the abuse, it's convert, which is change of allegiance from law to crime, it's victimization, and it is prostitute, and it is profane and violate and pervert and do wrong and ill treat and manhandle, oppression of the rights of the people, victimize and harass. And witch hunting you have seen already. And then you can see that Freemasonry is countermand, counteraction, and so that is in the International Law, the Thesaurus, which is by Brian Kiffler, that Freemasonry is the rejection of the law, ban of the law, denial of the law, ruling out and refusing the law. And then furthermore, that it is a counteraction and countermand, and you can see that it is preclusion, exclusion, prevention, forbidden ground, forbidden territory, it is negative veto, it is countermand, it is suspensive veto, it is blacklist, and you can see it is preclusion and exclusion of evidence, is to debar evidence from the hearing, prohibit and reject the law, ban the law, shut the door on justice, and it is to suppress the truth, and it is suppress the law, and it is not to accept the law, and it is foul play, and you can see all of it. And then furthermore, you can see that all of this is forbidden. It concludes that it is non-permissible, it is unallowed, it is disallowed, it is out of order, out of line, it is off limits, and it is out of bounds, which is not within the proper limits, and it's breaking the law of the land. It is unauthorized, unsanctioned, non-permissible, unpermissible, and it's outlawed and counter ban. And then you can see that it is unlawful, illegal, and illicit. And then furthermore, you can see that it is 445, it's the abrogation of the law, which is making the law letter dead. In 752 in the Rogers Thesaurus, it is countermand, and it is counter order. Here it is counter order, and then you can see it's invalidation, and it is rescinding, and it is also revoke, and it is reneging, which is changing allegiance from law to crime. And then you can see that it is repeal, it's revoke, it's rescind the law, abrogate the law, cancel the law, nullify the law, and make the law void, and overrule and override and recant and unwish, which is unwish is being felonious, criminal intent. And then you can see deposal, which is excommunication of the victim, humiliation of the victim, debasement, as well as I was made homeless, jobless, and penniless I was made homeless for 10 long years. I was with Manchester University students. I've always been in the public eye. I do not have a man in my life for the last 25 years, and I do not wish to have one, and I do not communicate with any neighbors that I have been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. And you can see that it is dethronement, and it is unfrocking, and it is excommunication, and it's demote, and it's humiliate, and so on and so forth. And then furthermore, you can also see that it is 480, which is usurpation, which is snatch the scepter and seize the crown, which is black power, which is 733 in the top thesaurus of Rogers, and it's a splinter group in 609, and I shall show you that one too. And you can see 480, which is giving out here that it's usurpation, which is here in number 4. But you can also see that it is possession, it is taking possession, it is theft, snatching, and it is grabbing, and it is seizing, kidnapping, abduction, seizure of power, capture, and sexual assault, and sexual possession, rape, violation, indecent assault, serial rape, gangbang. And furthermore, also do not miss that it is you see the extortion, embezzlement of the rights of the people, extortion, it's protection racket, blackmail, and threats, and blood-sucking, and looting, and wolfishness, and sharkiness, and misbehavior to the extreme. And it is the possession, prepossession, and so on and so forth, illegal possession. And then you can see that it is 551, insider trading. It is insider trading, which has multifacets, which is that it is dirt, and it is altering, which is changing into something different, and that it is a spin doctor. And then it also says that it is to justify, which is justify the judges who are deadly guilty by buying the loyalties of the people, swearing black is white and white is black, which is aid and abet, which is 707, helper in crime, partner in crime, aiding and abetting, moneyist and sharer, part and parcel of every connotation of Freemasonry. And then you can see that one, that Freemasonry is beneficiary, which is here. And furthermore, you can also see that is that Freemasonry is illicit business, insider trading. That is the connotation of Freemasonry itself, that Freemasonry is illegal, it is unlawful, it is illicit, it is a lawlessness, wrongfulness, unauthorized, impermissible, unconstitutional, it's a legal flaw, and it's an anarchy, it's collapse of authority, breakdown of authority, paralysis of authority, illicit business. So even if there are prime ministers or the party of the opposition who do not do the justice, they are in wrongful column of mutual support for self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind. They are aiding and abetting the murders. They are withholding justice. They are into injustice, and they are into rob, loot, and kill. They are crushing democracy, rights, and justice, which is the collapse of authority and paralysis of the authority. And then it is law breaking, it is contravention, it is infraction, it is trespass, treason, infringement, and it's criminality, and it is habitual criminals. That's why it is a gang rape, serial rape, shameful and shameless, and something rotten, and delinquency, flouting the law and making the law letter dead. And then this offense, and then you can see it is wrongfulness, violation of the law, infringement, it is flouting the law, it is mockery of the law, offending the law, a criminal offense, and it is disregard the law. And furthermore, you can see that it is unauthorized, it is fraudulent, it is unallowed, unwarrantable, illegitimate, illicit, unofficial, injudicial, impermissible, unconstitutional, unstatutory, it is non-constitutional, it is outlawed, it is criminal, it's felonious, it is black market, under the table, under the counter, and that it is illegal, and it is illegitimate, felonious, criminal, impermissible, contrary to the law, and that's what it is, counteraction. And then you can see that 732 illicit business, which you know is it is shady dealing, it's organized crime, mafia and protection racket and black market and prostitution and pimping and illegal activity of making money, that is illicit business, and that it is protection racket, it is dope smuggling, it is dope pusher, drug pusher, it is drug lord, receiver of stolen goods, and it is sell under the counter, and it is black market. And furthermore, you can see that insider trading, which is 737. Again, you can see that is insider trading, which is a rigged market, which is corruption, which is manipulated market, pegged market, put up market, which is organized crime, and it is commodity of exchange, which is selling the soul to the devil, and so on and so forth. And then you can see that it is okay, you have already seen that one. Somehow some of the second pages are missing of some of them. And then you can see that it is sell, it's convert, which is change of allegiance from law to crime, and then it is cover the clear the trade, etc. That is, anyways, then network, you can see Freemasonry is network, which is joining, which is union, which is bond, which is knotting, which is co-joining, and that it is conversion, which is to shift the blame, and so on and so forth. And so there, that's this one you can see is very important. Politics, smear campaign of opposition to the law. This is the splinter group 609 in the International Rhodiosaurus. And then you can see that it is a fraudulent vote. You can see here that it is 609, and it is splinter party and splinter group, which is Freemasonry itself, splinter party, and it is opposition party, which is the illegal and criminal world and the immoral world, and it is fraudulent voter. It's city hall, which is the town hall, which is the council, where the housing plays a very dirty role as well. And then you can see that it is a smear campaign of opposition to the law. That is smear campaign, it's mudslinging campaign, it is negative campaign, and it is convincing by a fraudulent vote, and it is solicitation, and it is negative campaign, it is dirty trick and dirty politics and mudslinging, and it is dirty pool, and it is character assassination of the victim by swearing black is white and white is black, by distortion of truth, falsification of truth, and perversion, which is hypnotizing, anesthesia, and gang raping the victim. That is the secret society. Dirty, dark, and devious, and evil, and vicious, and disgusting, and rotten to the core. And then you can see that it is 609 is political influence, which is secret influence of the secret society, corrupt influence, on page 15 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, the Parliament's inquiry. And then you can see that it is a political corruption here, and that it is, you can see, black vote and black power, which is Freemasonry is white supremacy, black power and black vote in 733 in the top thesaurus of Rogers. And then you can see that it is nepotism, which is breaking people's careers, and it is spoils of office, misuse of authority, and then it is official jargon, and it is a political group, and it is establishment-based mafia. It is smear campaign of opposition to the law. It is handshake, and it is converse and campaign for overthrowing the law and making the law letter dead, and which is brute force, and so on and so forth. And then you can see 617, which is Freemasonry's unholy alliance, which is to anesthetize and gang rape, which is very clear, unholy alliance, and which is also amalgamation and combine into the political party, and you can see it is combined, and you can see political machine, and you can see free trade area, insider trading, and it's a union, it's a ring, it's a gang, it's a mob, etc., and so on, and that it is partnership and crime and organization, and it's a council, and so on and so forth. And then you can see which is here 617, which is that it is a brotherhood, it is Freemasonry, it is secret society, it is fraternal society, it is splinter group, it is a breakaway group, breaks away from the law of the land, it is a political party, and then it is closed circle, it's ring, it is old boys network, it's combined, and it is affiliate, and it is amalgamation and combine and establishment based, and it's partiality, discrimination in favor, and it is affiliate and enroll and enlist and membership, and so on and so forth. And it is partyism. And then you can see that it is improbity is right here, which is untruthfulness, unscrupulousness, corruptness, which is insiditious as well, and it is felonious, and it is scoundrelism, and it is villainy, and it is roguishness, moral turpitude, it is false swearing, and unreliability, untrustworthy, and it's cheating and bungling, inconsistence, and it's untruthfulness, and it is breach of promise, breach of public trust, breach of trust. You can see that there quite, and then it's breach of faith, it's breach of confidence, dereliction of duty, it's false-heartedness, two-faced, it is foul play, it is dirty dealing, it's dirty trick, it is sedition, collaboration, fraternization, double cross, bribability, and it is pretension, it is forswear, it is shift the blame, it is cheating and bungling, and it is mislead, misguide, and two-faced, and that it is consciencelessness, it is unprincipled, and it is unscrupulous, and it is felonious and fraudulent and underhanded, and it is unstraightforward, and that it is insiditious, and it is infamous and notorious and perjured and insincere, and that it is treason and traitorship, and it is untrustworthy and unfaithful and treacherous and double-dealing and two-faced, fickle and disloyal, and that it is like a thief in the night. Oh my God, gracious, oh Lord, I have to bring it on again. Sorry, it will come on. That's, yeah, there it is. And there it is, that it is dishonesty, it is insiditious, it's like a thief in the night, felonious, and it's shifty, and it's infamous, notorious, false-hearted, traitorship and treason, faithlessness, and furthermore, you can see that this one is injustice 650, which is nepotism, you can see, which is unneutral, and it is nepotism, which is breaking people's careers, and it is favoritism, partiality, discrimination, favor, it is inequality, it is imposition, which is to impose oneself, which is to anesthetize and gang rape women, shameful, shameless, and something rotten, and then it is miscarriage of justice, mockery of justice, grave injustice, gross injustice, and it is unwarrantable, inexcusable, unjustifiable, unforgivable, and it is below the belt, it is injustice, it is show preference, partiality, discrimination, favor, and it is inequality, and it is discrimination, and it is unrighteousness, it is unlawful, and it is unrightful, it is unmerited, it is undeserved, undueness, and it is dirty, and it's foul, and it is warped and influenced, unequal, unreasonable, unpardonable, unforgivable, and you can see here quite clearly that it is foul play, and it is partiality, it is one-sidedness, it is bias, and it is unlawful, and it's illegal, and it's wrongful and improper, and it's injustice, and it is unjust, and it's inequality, and so on and so forth. And then you can also see that unlawful and wrongdoing, wrongful is ungodly, it is unchastity, you can see wrongdoing, and it is immoral, and it is uncleanliness, and it is delinquency, and it is moral delinquency, and it is iniquity, it is evil and iniquity, and it is moral turpitude, and it is demoralization, and it's perversion, and it is den of iniquity, it is immoral and demoralize. And furthermore, you can see that it is wrongdoing, which is evil doing, which is wickedness, which is law breaking, it is felonious, it is trespass, it is transgression of duties, encroachment, it's infraction, it's criminal tendency, but it is habitual criminality, which is also injudicial, which is illicit business in 674, and it's gang violence here, and it's injustice, inequity, evil and criminal act, and transgression, and trespass, and it's sin, and it's impropriety, and it is maladministration and machinations of the devil, and criminal tendency, and so on, and viciousness. And furthermore, you can see it is grave sin, it is unforgivable, it is inexplainable, it is crime against the humanity. It is wrath, and it is misdoing, and it is evil doing, and it is wrong, it's iniquitous, it is crime ridden and crime infested, and it is crime against the humanity. It is dereliction of duty and delinquency, felony, and a capital crime, unpardonable sin, unforgivable sin, and it is do wrong and felonious and criminal offense, and so on and so forth. And furthermore, this one is of what organized crime is, which we know. And then furthermore, God gracious, what is this? Okay, oh yeah, this is very important. This is 308 pernicious, which is the unlawful killing of the victim by hook or by crook. You can see that it is dealing of death. It is underhanded dealing, which is death deal, which is poisoning, which is unlawful killing, bloody murder, contract murder, mass murder by hook or by crook, or it's by accident, or a gunman or a killer or a terrorist or poison, or it is, and then it says put an end to the life and hasten someone's death and finish them off, and you can see, and to kill and remove from life, put away and nip in the bud and execute and cut off and take for a ride, and you can see finish them off and put to death and put an end to the life, and to kill quite clearly. And it also says that it is a death deal. You have seen that it is death trap in insider trading 356, death deal in here, and it's a death watch that follows from here as well. And that is what Freemasonry is about, and it is pernicious, and it's malign, and it is death dealing, and so on, and malignant, of course, and malign, and so on and so forth. And furthermore, it is counteraction, which is opposition of the law, which is the heart of the matter of Freemasonry, which is opposition of the law, which is enmity, which is friction, which is obstinacy, which is dissension, which is gang warfare, which is go to the opposition, join the opposition, which is tergiversation, change from allegiance, from law to crime, counteract, counterwork, clash with, fight against, counteract, fight, and again, you can see again, join the opposition is right here, and set against the people, and then so on and so forth, and conflict, and cross purposes, and collusion, and so on and so forth. And you can see that stiff opposition and denial of the law, and contravention, and contraposition, which is put the cart before the horse, and misconstruction, and so on and so forth. And so you have seen all of that. So that is of core importance, and I can show you that is my father, very first professor of Punjabi literature in the whole world with 49 PhD doctors under him. That's him again. And these are all the books by him, but this is the Conceptual Encyclopedia of Religion, International Encyclopedia of Religion by Macmillan Publisher of New York, which has got only 2 entries of Sikhism of my father in there. So that is very important, because he is considered an authority on Sikhism. And then you can see a Conceptual Encyclopedia of the Guru Granth Sahib, which is from A to Z, but it also has concepts of other religions in there. And Dictionary of Guru Granth Sahib A to Z, Dictionary of Guru Granth Sahib, and Dictionary of Guru Granth Sahib again. And mythological references, Dictionary of Guru Granth Sahib, Holy Book of the Sikhs, Dictionary of the Guru Granth Sahib. That is the PhD thesis of my father, which is the appreciation of which has been written by the very first president of India, philosopher himself, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. That's his signature, President of India, and that is Rashtrapati Bhavan. That is the President House in New Delhi. This is about the author about my father, that Professor Dr. Surendra Singh Kohli was head of the Department of Punjabi at Punjab University, Chandigarh for nearly 20 years. He has done distinct service to comparative religion and to comparative literature, and also service to the Sikhism in particular. And then that is the Dasam Granth Sahib. That is a mighty work of my father, which is in 3 huge volumes, which is which is a translation of the second scripture of the Sikhs, which is written by the 10th Guru of the Sikhs, Guru Gobind Singh, which is a translation from a very difficult language called Brij Bhasha from which is from like Sanskrit into Punjabi and into then English, which is poetry to poetry. So it's extensive, it's exclusive, it's very wonderful, and it is much loved and credited by people internationally. It's sold all over the world, like all the other works are sold through Amazon as well. And then you can see Sikh predictions based on all relevant texts by Surinder Singh Kohli, Ritualism and Rejection in Sikhism by Surinder Singh Kohli, Sikhism and Major World Religions, Sikh Philosophy, Outlines of Sikh Thought, Yoga of the Sikhs, Sikh Ethics by Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli, Strange but True in Sikhism, all the books by my father, and then Sikh Prayers by Surinder Singh Kohli, Real Sikhism, and then Sikh and the Khalsa, Naam according to Guru Granth Sahib, God's Will in the Concept of Holy Book of the Sikhs, Grace, Attributes of God, Ego, Death and After, Philosophy of Guru Nanak, Travels of Guru Nanak, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Sikhism and the Sikh and Bhai Gurdas, Life and Ideals of Guru Gobind Singh, so on and so forth. And then we come into showing you that the judges that were set up and bribed on the illegal possession of my children, which is in here. You can always, I shall just go through it. That is Judge Farrar, the first judge. There are 10 judges enlisted here in the misuse and abuse of authority of free ministry into judiciary and the police, mirroring the state of affairs of the country, that have done the injustices, that have given me the threats, that have broken the laws of the land, that have done the counter court orders, like Judge Collins, as well as Lord Justice Stuart Smith and Lord Justice Wilson, openly sided up with the other party, asked the other solicitor to make the, oh God, it's shocking and flabbergasting, turn the residence order, interim residence into full residence order to remove the children from the country, which was ex-party while I stood there, and it was the illegal possession of my children has been done like anything. Then you can see District Judge Brass, then District Judge Rowe from Somerset House, District Judge Khan, who threatened me, if you do not stoop to our terms and conditions, you have not seen your children for the last 6 months, you won't see them at all. And then furthermore, that is... again, Judge Harper again did a counter order, made the interim residence order into interim contact, just like Judge Collins from Birmingham had done. He had changed the residence order into contact for the illegal possession further of my children. Then Judge Farnworth, who squashed and said no application. Quash all applications of the mother for the illegal possession of the children. Openly, they were siding up with the other party, lopsided and crushing the laws of the land. Judge Coleman, who told all the 12 witnesses, you need not have come, he was declaring they didn't want to know any merits of the case or the evidences. They only wanted the illegal possession of the children. They didn't want to declare the divorce, and they only wanted to carry on with the illegal possession. They are devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain. They were putting a seal on it. And then Judge Coleman even threatened me, if you go to the Court of Appeal, you will push your children further away from you. He even told the court welfare officer to lie on the witness stand as much as she liked to, by telling her you need not be sworn your court welfare officer, which is absolutely wrong, because every social worker or anyone who goes to court is supposed to not tell lies, but is supposed to be sworn on oath to speak the truth. And then you can see the 2 bogus court welfare reports made without court directions by Mr. Bramwell of Greater Manchester Probation Services for the illegal possession of both my sons. On the first report, he said responsible to Manchester Probation Services, and on the second report, he made the confession that it was the London Probation Services that were asking him to make the report. But so he confessed because they were made without court directions, and the law of the land says that the Children's Act 1989 says that in order for anyone to touch the case, they need the court directions, a court order to make the court welfare reports, and so on and so forth. And then you can see the miscarriage of justice by which is in the book of Politics of the Judiciary by J.A.G. Griffiths, which says that the court seems to think that, to believe that the general public will be likely to lose faith in a system that admits any errors. But of course, when the error is made manifest, in any case, the failure to rectify the error earlier is seen as a far greater condemnation of the system, which is Politics of the Judiciary. So it's very important that people should live and let others live, and so on and so forth. So there is also the definition of what is defamation is given here is to lower the claimant in the eyes of the right-thinking people with hatred and contempt and so on and so forth. So you can see that, which is from Jeffrey Robinson and Andrew Nicol, and this is just some of the books, many books, or all the books by my father that are enlisted in here, and he has written enormous and outstanding work on Sikhism and so on and so forth. And then in the end, I shall show yourselves the Rogers Thesaurus, which has got some important connotations in there. You can see the Rogers Thesaurus, and you can see that freemasonry is joint possession, that it is illegal possession, it is joint share, it is joint profit with anyone who is amalgamated and combined by the establishment-based mafia to rob, loot, and kill, or make anesthetize and gang rape, make nude movies of innocent mothers, and so on and so forth. And that 776, it's the beneficiary. That's how my husband is the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons and myself. 782, which is purchase, which is buying the loyalties of the people, which is inducement, which is in lure, entice, and captivate people, which is also in 612 in the top thesaurus of Rogers. And then this one is of core importance because this is giving out everything about anesthetize and gang raping women, which says 788. You can see that it is house breaking into the home, and then you can see that it is a gang rape, and it's robbery with violence, it's rape, it's abduction, kidnapping, body snatching, infringement, misappropriation, act of theft, and it's plundering, and it's embezzlement of the rights of the people, misappropriation, fraudulent conversion, protection racket, it's a daylight robbery, it's fraudulent conversion, it's fiddle, it's black economy, which is, black market, and it is illegal commerce, it is insider trading, and it is deception, and it is rapacity, and it is act of theft, and it is on the fiddle, sorry, and it is commit the breach of public trust, it is victimization, make a prey, extortion, and protection racket, and oppression of the rights of the people, and it follows from it that it's a thieving fraternity. And then you can see that it is illegality. Again, you can see that insider trading is illicit business, and that it is bastardism, it is sinisterism, it is vice, crime, and sin, and it's criminal offense, and it's violation of the law, and it's encroachment and trespass and infringement, which is anesthetize, hypnotize, and gang rape. Anyways, we've done enough of unmasking and bringing to the public eye the Parliament's inquiry and what is the law of the land and what it ought to be. And that the older boy, my son, which is the medical doctor, the one with the glasses, and the younger one who's the mathematics honors and business masters, that's my father, and these are both my sons as well, that I want back in my life. I don't have them for the last 25 years. Everyone has a right to live. So the only three things I want is the divorce to be declared, and the life insurance policies be cancelled on 3 deaths, and that my sons be reunited with me. And this is all about human rights, democracy, rights, and justice. And this is a repeat of what they were giving yesterday as well, which is on Hard Talk, which is one of my favorite programs on BBC. It is absolutely marvelous. They do a great job because they speak the truth, and it is very important for people to speak the truth and to do plain speaking and speak the truth and bring to the public eye, which is here, 503. And then you can see that the date has changed. It has become a Wednesday, and it has become the 2nd of December 2020, and which is remarkable in the United Kingdom, as you know, the way the things are. And then 12:33, that is the time at the moment, 12:34 a.m. It has just turned 12:34 a.m. after midnight at the moment, and you can see I'm at home. I've been home all day long, and so that's the way it is. So anyways, all my love and best wishes, and very grateful, and thank you very much. And God bless you all, my darlings. Thanks a lot. Take great care. All my love and best wishes. Bye-bye. Bye.